Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I am your host, unanswered, and this is Let's Talk. And today I want to talk about a concept that influences and affects really everybody out there who's a console gamer. Not as much PC, but mostly console. This is the issue of used game sales. The reason why it's not as prevalent on the PC is because the used game market on PC is almost non-existent. Mainly because when you have a PC game, it comes with a code, you install the code to your console, to your PC I guess, and that game is now yours. Nobody else can use that game. It's a one-time use code. Sometimes you can share between PCs, but most of the time, one code, one PC. Also, most of the sales done on PC are digital. So when you buy a game on PC, it's already digitally downloaded to your computer. And really the idea of use digital games is a bit asinine, hence why this only affects consoles. In my humble opinion, you only see this impact on consoles. Take GameStop for example. When you go to GameStop and you see their used game selection, you never see anything for PC. In fact, if you see anything for PC, it might be one or two used PC games, but the majority of the time what you see is games from both the Xbox, PlayStation, and any of the other home consoles. Now there have been many of analogies, if you will, trying to explain or relate the idea of used sales. There's been the idea of a used book market, a used car sales market, but I'm not going to relate those back to games, even though they share the same core idea of used sales, because each of the aforementioned examples are unique in their own way, so comparing the two really doesn't make much sense. Alright, so now that we established all that, let's talk about the used game market. What are my thoughts, my ideas, my opinions really, because that's all I can give you as a human being, my true and honest opinion. I believe that there's a need for used games. I believe there's a need for a used game market. And why I say that is because the depreciation of games is a long and strenuous process. Some games a year after they've been released are still $60. Even though the majority of the game sales happen between the first 3 months, the game is still $60. If a game went down in price as again depreciated as time went on, then it would be justifiable to buy it. If a game was $19.99 by the time a year rolled in or 2 years rolled in, then it would be excusable. However, these games tend to keep their current price of $60, and therefore I usually go for the cheaper option, which is like $17.99 in some cases. What about the digital market? Surely it'll be better. Well, digital market might be good on the PC because you have services like Steam where they subsidize purchases for you, where you can buy a game for I don't know, 99 cents. That doesn't happen on consoles, because in consoles, for example the Xbox 360, games that are uploaded to their marketplace are still $60. Even though they're just a digital copy, there is no distribution, there is no transportation of these services, so it should be a lot cheaper. That copy is just a digital copy, and it should be a lot cheaper than a game disc that has to be printed and sent to every retail store out there. So the idea of, hey, let's subsidize this, let's make it cheaper for the consumer, doesn't really happen on the console. Hence, again, used game sales are a better deal. If the alternatives to the used game market is not there, then you fully understand now why I believe that a used game market is necessary. Again though, this comes back to the point of the idea of ownership. What are you entitled to? Are you entitled to that game that you bought? Is that game truly yours? Are you allowed to resell that copy of the game that you bought? Or are you simply borrowing a license from a publisher? I believe that if the game is yours because you bought it, you should be able to resell it. Now, if the publishers have some way for you to sell the game back to them or something like that, and they could refurbish it and sell it back, that's one way they could make money from a copy they already sold. Another way could be they could tell these retail stores, look, the real cannibalization of my games happened within 3 months, right? I'm the one who gives you all this money for you to do advertising for the games that are coming out, so people come and buy them at your store. I'm not going to give you that money unless you hold used game sales until 3 months after the game has been released. If this were to happen, then used games would not be a big deal. Another alternative, again, as we've seen with the consoles, is you can just implement it in a console. A lot riskier because, as we've seen, things like DRM tends to cause more problems than they fix. I mean, there's a lot more I want to say, but you've heard it all before. I don't want to keep drilling in, use game sales is good, use game sales is bad. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm more interested to hear what you guys have to say as opposed to like what the media is saying. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, thank you for stopping by.